Talent joins us here. She is your official title, CEO of the Show Me Institute. Good morning, Brenda Talent.
Good morning, McGraw.
Is it safe? Are we at the boondoggle phase of the Loop Trolley yet, or are we short of the boondoggle phase?
Well, I would argue we reached the boondoggle phase back in 2012 when it was first proposed. But, you know, this is one where I think the irony is everyone's going to say, we've spent so much money, we've got to finish.
Well, I mean, let's take a step back and we'll end with that. Right. Where are we with this Loop Trolley? Okay. Because there's so many things that have happened in the last couple of weeks.
Let me give a little bit of a history here, okay? So the idea was back in 2012. The people the proponents got funding for it through the federal government. They began construction in 2015 with a promised, delivery date of late 2016. Now, and recognize, I don't know if you experienced, but I did. They tore up Del Mar.
Sure.
Traffic was bad. Then they pushed the opening date to early 2017.
Right.
Then it was pushed to late 2017. Now they're saying unless we get $500,000, it won't open. But if we do, it'll open in maybe February of 2018. Now, in the process, of course, a few businesses have left the area, which we know about.
Right.
In addition, we've seen one delay after another, and then the big question is, how are they going to pay for the operating expenses? They've got transportation development district, so sales tax in a particular area is supposed to pay for it. In the interim, there was a lawsuit by residents who are outside the transportation development district, which is called a TDD, because the tracks of the trolley extended beyond the district.
Now, we're only talking a couple of feet.
Right. And they lost at the lower court. They're now on appeal, and that's what the appellate court will decide, is whether the trolley has to tear up the tracks and get out of the district, or whether they have to have a new vote on a sales tax to extend the TDD, if you will. I don't know how likely it is that the plaintiffs will be successful in this lawsuit. But bottom line is we've gone many years, lots of dollars. I mean, originally this trolley was supposed to come in at $43 million. It's coming in at $51 million. And again, when you look at studies, to the extent there have been studies on trolleys, usually the ridership doesn't produce what has been promised. It ends up to be a big suck on finances. And then you hear the proponents claim, well, it'll bring development, except everyone forgets to add that all of that development subsidized also.
Yes. You forgot a couple of interesting things. The St. Louis County gave, what, $3 million?
Yeah,
$4 million?
They were asked for $4 million,
right,
but they only gave $3 million. The proponents of this trolley also had written a letter to the federal government. Now, this isn't a contract, where they promised they were going to go out and private donors would be able to raise over $5 million, and we haven't seen that.
And they haven't raised a nickel.
They haven't raised $500,000, which they're looking for now.
And now they said, the Loop Trolley says, we're not going to open unless we can raise or get $500,000. There's no sense to open. We don't have operating money unless we get $500,000 in the kitty.
Correct.
So they're going to continue to test it while they're waiting for $500,000.
Right. So if you're driving down Del Mar, you'll occasionally see the trolley. I guess it's a teaser.
Right.
If you pony up the $500,000, you get to ride on it. And the fares, I believe, is $2 now, or $5 for an entire day. I don't know. That might be an evolving story also. Yeah. And again, we've people early on, I would say the Show Me Institute said early on, don't invest in this. This is not a good investment. But we've thrown so much money at it now. It's almost as if, we can't afford to lose.
Well, what do you do? Do you have just the tracks there as a mindful remembrance of $50 million of wasteful spending, or do you spend the $500,000 and we're already pregnant with this deal? You might as well have the baby.
Right. Although, again, when you look at the operating expenditures, there's no guarantee they're going to meet their operating expenses. No, McGraw, I predict that in a few years what will happen is the taxpayers will have to pony up a whole lot of money to tear up the tracks and put the road back.
Yeah. This is not good. So they're 2 years past the time. and they're millions over with, and now they can't open. I love the fact that they might have to rip up 3 or 4 feet on either side of this because it's outside of the district.
Well, I suspect there'll be a resolution of that.
But still,
yeah,
though, I mean, the time, the money, and the energy to take that to court to argue.
Oh yeah, again, more money lost
Right.
for this effort and produces no economic benefit.
Again, is this a boondoggle yet? We're coming dangerously close to calling this thing a boondoggle.
I think, McGraw, you can call it that.
I'm rooting for it. All right, Brenda Talent, where can we read more about this?
ShowMeInstitute.com.